Hi guys, welcome to the Breezy Bree commentary. And I'm doing tonight the Real Housewives of New Jersey. But before I get into that, I want to share with you that, as you can see from some of my other videotapes, I have also been doing some commentaries about the Chauvin trial, the George Floyd case. And I am not going to be doing that today, mainly because it's getting like almost zero attention. And I may be doing it later on in the week, maybe on Friday, and I may do it some next week. Over the course of the next 2 weeks, I have a real estate exam to catch up on. So I am not going to be doing a lot every day. So I just wanted to bring that up. Um, anyway, let's talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I want to backtrack to the show that previously aired last Wednesday or just overall, right? Overall, on the Real Housewives of New Jersey, I've never really been a fan of Teresa's, and I I know she's the most popular one on the show and that people really like her. And it is not that I don't like her, it is that I just think that she tries to do and say or make comments to some of the other housewives. For example, Jackie, when Jackie first came on the show, and whenever they say something back to her, then she wants to get all out of whack about it and be irresponsible in her character. And I'm just not a fan of hers because of that. I do love Jackie. I love Jennifer. I love Melissa. I like Marge, even though Marge's lips are always an issue for me when she moves them certain ways. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? I've never seen that happen. They go like northeast, southwest, just everywhere, all over the place. And so I like Marge. I almost didn't like how she did Danielle, though. I thought that was kind of, you know, I thought that she should have been more forgiving of Danielle. Not that Danielle is perfect or anything, but I would have liked to have seen Marge be a little more forgiving. Then again, as I'm even saying that, Danielle has a lot of things in her closet I think that she needs therapy on. So moving on, overall on the show, Evan is a very handsome man. He is good looking, and he's tall and he keeps himself in shape and, um, Teresa covets Aaron, okay? I mean, Evan, not Aaron. She has a thing for Evan, and it shows all over her face when he's in the room. And I believe that Dolores realizes it because tonight at dinner, Dolores was semi-flirting with him to some degree. And I don't know what happens to women whenever they see other women with good-looking husbands. Leave that woman's husband alone. I did not like tonight whenever Evan greeted Teresa and kissed her and hugged her, because when a woman is coveting another woman's husband, that husband should not even touch her. He should like steer clear of that woman. That's what I think. Has nothing to do with insecurity or security. It just has to do with you need to steer clear of her. Don't kiss her on the cheek, the forehead. Don't touch her. She has a thing for you. Stay away from my husband. That's how I would be. And I know that Jackie has to be cool on the show. I love when Jackie goes after Teresa. I do. I love when she, like in the last show, when she told Teresa, did you get that confidence in jail? I said, yes, Jackie, all day. Say that to her. Put her in her place. And I think that is the issue with Teresa as well. She really doesn't know how to handle Jackie because she knows that Jackie is not afraid to, you know, throw some shade at her. Direct shade, have you, okay? I also want to say, I know people make a lot of comments about Jennifer's husband. Um, Jennifer's husband is good looking. Okay, so let's be clear. He is a very handsome man. He and Evan, in my humble opinion, are the best looking ones on The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Bill is a classy man. He's a physician. He has a reputation to uphold. He carries himself like a physician. Physicians like to have fun too. So of course he likes to be out and having fun, out and about. So, there's nothing wrong with that in my humble opinion. So I think that he is handsome, and I love him and Jennifer together. I'm so sorry to see what her parents are going through, and what that really stems from. And some cultures are also like Black culture when it comes to therapy. For example, I love Jennifer's mom. However, I do think that it would benefit her to sit down and to talk to a therapist about her history and just the foundation of what has brought her into the woman that she is now, because she's getting up there in age. She has grown children who are married. She has grandchildren. So at this point, her and her husband really should be enjoying themselves. They should be having the time of their life and enjoying their grandchildren. Some of the anger to me just comes across as very superficial, meaning that she's not dealing with the real issue. So, and her husband, it would probably help him to be there with her through some of it. It would probably bring them closer together. At any rate, let's move on. I want to just continuing on about the last show and just overall. Why is David not on this trip? Did I miss something? Why is Frank on this trip with Dolores? And granted, he is very good friends with the Gorgas. I think that they all went to school together, or they've known each other for decades. So I understand Frank being on the trip. I do not disagree with him coming on the trip. I'm just looking at the fact that he and Dolores were in that room together. Did they sleep in the bed together? Because they're always having the conversation in that room at that vacation home of hers. For example, in the last episode, whenever Dolores was telling him that she believes that Evan is not coming there in peace, they were in the room together. So is this for real? Because I know that there's a lot going on out there with couples that I may not be privy to nowadays. So is this something that's new? Is this for real? Because why would David even put up with it? I think that I can't imagine any man, regardless of your culture, Italian, Black, white, Irish, whatever. I can't imagine any man thinking it's okay for the ex-husband to always be around his wife. They have had sex. They have children. They know what each other feels like. And now they're having this time together. And Frank Catania also mentioned to Dolores, whenever she was sharing with him that, Evan, is going to have a problem because Jackie had been on the phone telling him about Teresa. And Frank Catania said, well, if anyone ever, did that to you, I'd have a problem too. So I'm just like, that's just, is this a storyline? Or is this something that's real? Is what I want to know. And if you're listening, I want to hear if you let me know what you think about Dolores and Frank. The other thing about Dolores is, I'm Wendy Williams. She's always calling Dolores the Black Dolores. Dolores is not Black. I'm Black. Look at me. Look at me. I'm Black. Dolores is not Black. Stop calling her the Black Dolores. Okay? She tans well because she's Italian. They have some melanin in their blood, and that's why they tan very good in the sun. So many of them don't even need a tan. They're tanned, period. So anyway, just wanted to say that. So what else is over here? I'm looking at the list. So let's see. Okay. Oh, one last thing about last week's episode, and then I'm going to go ahead and cover what happened tonight. on tonight's episode. Jackie is very upset about the allegations that her husband may be cheating. Now, I would be too. I would be very upset. She has every reason to feel the way she feels about this rumor that has been started, and it's been started during the show, on the reality show. It is included in the episode. So now, millions, if not hundreds of thousands of people who watch the show know about it. Hopefully it's at least 1 point some million. I need to look at their ratings. At any rate, each time that she brings it up to Evan, I don't know if you've noticed, but Evan is very nonchalant about it. I haven't really seen him angry about the situation. And maybe that's a white man thing or a white woman thing, but like for me, if that were my husband and someone said that about him and he wasn't as upset as I am about it, we would have a problem. We would definitely have a problem. I'm upset about it. You're upset about it because it's disrespecting me if someone says that you're cheating on me. It's disrespecting me as your wife, even more so than it is disrespecting you. So at least be upset about it because I'm upset. But he instead, whenever she goes, after Teresa apologizes to them and she asks him how he feels about the apology, he says to her, well, I've already moved on from it. Really? How is that, Evan? How is it that you've moved on from it when she hasn't moved on from it? Just wanted to point that out. So I just want to catch up to tonight's episode. It starts out with Melissa and Joe Gorga are in the room. They're all getting ready to go to the dinner, and Bill and Jen are in the room, and they're all having the same type of conversation. They're anticipating what dinner is going to be like just because of the previous events, and also because Margaret is upset with Jennifer for I guess accusing her of wanting her boss, as opposed to what Margaret as opposed to what Margaret said. Margaret said that her boss took advantage of a 20-year-old. It wasn't that she wanted her boss. It was that she was a young woman working and he shouldn't have done that to her, which I can get. I get that. I do get that. Yeah. So, anyway, what happens next? Okay, so they get ready. They go out to dinner. When they show Teresa in her confessional, she has the updo or the hair kind of going back. I thought that was a beautiful hairdo for her. That looked really good. Her hair can look really gorgeous whenever she wants it to. It looks really nice. But overall, I think that Melissa is the most gorgeous one, really. I love her wavy hair. She has beautiful hair. She has beautiful skin. She has a beautiful looking face. So I like Melissa, and she dresses really great. I also really liked the shoes. Did you see the shoes that Jennifer was wearing? I wonder if those were Chanel, because she likes Chanel. And I was trying to see if they were, but the black shoes with the gold around the ankle, those things were popping. I really like those shoes. And so let's see here. They're at dinner, they're eating. It's so funny because the men are separated from the women at first at a different table, even though the table is right behind them. And everything looks like it's going good until Margaret and Jennifer finish off their conversation from the night before. And so they start hashing that out, and the men are like, oh no, here we go. They're starting again, And so they, it's just really, really funny. The food looked really good. The name of the restaurant was called, let's see, I wrote it down because if I'm ever in Jersey, sure, I'm going to La Mandina Italian Cuisine. I'm going. I may even have to go to the Jersey Shore like next week. It is, it's sun. The sunshine is out in many parts of the U.S. right now, so it's probably a good time to go there to go to that restaurant. Um, let's see what else. I think that Evan is really like the role that he plays on the show. He is the perfect role model of a husband. He just sits back and takes it all in and just, moves forward. So that his overall role on the show, I think, is like perfect. He doesn't get involved in a lot of the mess and the drama that goes on. Not even with the men. He doesn't really get involved. He just seems like he just likes to have fun, Um, so Melissa, as they're leaving the restaurant, Melissa is walking in front of Joe. She's just going to the shuttle to get in. Joe starts yelling at Melissa for walking in front of him. I mean, are you serious? In the 16 years that they've been married, she's never walked in front of him. She's always walked beside him. It almost seems like a storyline. It really does. It almost seems like a storyline because it happened too fast. They were okay, and then suddenly he's upset because she's walking in front of him. And then it turns into the fact that, okay, she's working all the time. But that was also a couple of episodes, a couple of seasons back, like 2-3 seasons back, before his dad passed. That was an issue. When she first opened up her store, that was an issue. So this isn't something that's new. So that is a little, suspect to me. That is what makes me think that they are creating this issue because they need a storyline. The producers must have said, okay, somebody do something because this is all boring. We have all this footage and nothing. So I think that they created something because it was just weird how it all popped off. And then they get in the shuttle and they're really arguing. He's upset that at first she's walking in front of him. Then suddenly it turns into, you've changed. Change is good. Anyone who remains the same is stagnant, and you really need to question your outlook on life. If you have been the same person the whole 16 years that you've been married, that's a problem. You should be growing. And sometimes a wife may outgrow a husband and vice versa. That doesn't mean you separate or get a divorce. It just means somebody may have a little catching up to do, or someone may be a little slower at it, or maybe they're growing in a different direction. It doesn't mean you separate. It just means that you're getting closer, you're more comfortable with each other, and your securities are good with each other. So it's good that she's changing, she's evolving. Everyone should be evolving and growing and doing better. So the fact that he's having this baby fit over his wife changing is also suspect to me. What else? Let's see. Oh, one of the things that Melissa said to Joe whenever they were having their debate, she says to him, "This is the best you're going to get." Well, she was talking about herself, I think. I think she was saying, this is as good as you're going to get. So that wasn't nice, Melissa. This is the best you're going to get. That is like saying to your husband, you are not all of that. I'm as good. You should be happy to have me. Anyway, I digress. So let's see. The last part is they end up going to another dinner or lunch or something. Yeah, it was lunch. And at lunch, Joe gets back at Melissa for the trick that she and Teresa played on him with another man waiter, which was, we all saw that it wasn't real. even though Bravo, when they aired it for the previews, tried to make it look like an issue. When it finally aired, it was not real. It was, and I hate when Bravo does that. You can tell that they have nothing to really have a storyline about, because they're creating things that it doesn't even exist. They showed on that particular one, they showed Teresa telling Joe Gorga that Melissa was cheating on him with the waiter and got the number, and they've been texting and all this stuff, and it really looked like that was something that was going to happen. And then when the episode finally aired, we saw the whole scene and it was a joke. Bravo is grasping at straws with these shows, really. And I don't really need all the drama. I've told you before, I can just watch your fashion, your homes, and your shoes, and your clothes. I'll be fine with that, and just have you have some dialogue, interacting. I don't need all of the drama. I mean, I want it to be real, because I know that some people do come with drama. So if it's real, of course I want to see it. But if it's not, don't do it. That's what I think anyway. At any rate, moving forward, tonight, Joe Gorga played a trick on Melissa. He left his phone on the table, and he and Frank Catania got up and walked away, and his phone starts going off, and it's Realtor Gizelle. So Melissa really is getting hyped up about this cell phone. And then she finally figures it out that they were punking her the way that she and Teresa had punked Joe. So that made Joe feel good, because it let him know that she still has some feelings for him. So I hope that he's probably seen the show and probably knows by now that Teresa and Melissa were making up. In reality, they were making it up, because at the dinner, he seemed to have thought, hey, it could be real, anything could happen, but now he probably knows it's not. And that's all. It really wasn't. I like Jersey. I'll watch it, period. But it really is not a whole lot to tell, in my humble opinion. It's just not a whole lot to tell. Evan left early, had to go back, take care of the kids, and I hope their marriage is okay. I'm going to pray for their marriage, because I know Jackie loves her husband, and Jackie's beautiful herself. I like her, period. And I just don't want her to let women like Teresa get to her. I mean, Jackie, you have everything going for you. You have everything going for you. So please treat Teresa like a piece of cake, or don't worry about her. So that's it, guys. I have no more. That's my thoughts. Comment, let me know what you thought of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, even if your comment is different than mine. Also, please subscribe to my channel. It is still just getting started. I want to be on here every night bringing content about something. And give me a thumbs up. Let me know you liked the video. And of course, click the notification bell so that you can get notifications when I'm on. And I'm going to eventually add some music and some other things. Like I said, I have someone who's, in the waiting, and trying to get ready to help me edit. We're just trying to figure out, I'm like really paranoid about this pandemic. I really am. So we're trying to figure out, okay, how we're going to do this during the pandemic, because I want to bring content every night, at least for the next 30 to 60 days, bring something. So, so I need to do a whole background right here. I'm kind of near my garage, between my garage and my kitchen. This is like the room where we used to keep the garbage, and we moved everything out, and so this is just a small space. I didn't want to use my big office, because I do use that for work. At any rate, thank you for listening to me, and again, click the notification bell, thumbs up, and subscribe.